Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from GaragebandProfessional.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about what I believe is the best guitar audio interface for GarageBand. Now, if you've been Googling and looking on YouTube and all that stuff, you've probably ran into this product before. It's the iRig HD2. Typically, it costs around $100. It's this little machine right here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how well the camera can see that. But I wrote an article about it on GaragebandProfessional.com. I included all the details for how to set up Amplitude and all that stuff if you really want to access it, as well as some important things to consider. So in this tutorial, really, I'm not going to talk so much about the specifications and all that. I'll probably just play it a little bit for you so that you have an idea of what it sounds like. And it sounds good. It sounds as good as you would want it to, I don't know if you can hear all this, but yeah, so it sounds good. And this is going to allow you to, access all of the amp settings and, everything in Amp Designer and, everything that GarageBand kind of comes with. And another really cool feature of it is that you can actually plug in all your guitar pedals to the iRig HD2. I already did another video on that. Some important thing that I mentioned in that video is the fact that I'm not sure how many devices you can plug into it without causing latency. I imagine that once you're getting up to like 2, 3, 4, you might get some latency. I'm not entirely sure. I've only plugged in one at a time, or rather two. But yeah, I usually plug in my Line 6 pod system and my Digitech whammy pedal, and there's no latency at that point. So I think if you have two pedals, you should be all right. But I guess I'll mention maybe a few issues that I have with it. The one thing about it that I don't like is the fact that it's plastic. That just screams cheap to me. That's just a pet peeve of mine when they make products like this out of plastic. Because I know, Focusrite, I have two of their audio interfaces and they're made out of steel. They have this aluminum casing and I find that's just way superior. But that's pretty much it. And another thing to mention to you is that when I first got the iRig HD2, I had about 5 minutes of difficulty getting the computer to recognize it. So what I did in that situation is that I had the iRig set up, everything was plugged in, and then I just rebooted GarageBand with it plugged in, and then it suddenly started recognizing it, and then since then I haven't had any problems. But yeah, it's compatible with PC, Mac, iPad, and iPhone. I'm not sure if it's compatible with Android. I can't say for sure. I don't have an Android, but it works for all the devices that I just mentioned. It comes with the micro USB as well as the Thunderbolt micro USB to USB. It has a clip for attaching it to a microphone stand, and you also get Amplitude 4 with it. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not a big fan of Amplitude 4, mostly because it's a bit misleading. You think that you're going to get Amplitude 4 and you're going to get all of these awesome amps and stuff to use, but you actually have to purchase all of the amp models in the custom shop, and they're like $25 per amp and stuff like that. So for me, Amplitude 4 is not really my thing. I don't even mess around with it. I find that GarageBand has enough options and whatnot in the Amp Designer, which you can check out one of my other videos and articles about it. I talk about all that stuff. But yeah, it comes with other stuff too, like Syntonic Free and T-Rack and all kinds of like limiters and compressors. But you have to purchase them all, so it's kind of whatever, But the actual device itself is great. The device itself is awesome, and I use it every day. It's worth adding that you want to make sure that your gain isn't turned up too much, because if your gain is turned up too much, this little light, where is it? This little light right here will flash red. and that means it's clipping. That means your signal is too hot and the preamp gain is too high. So you want it to flash green when you're playing. And when you first plug it in, it flashes blue, and that lets you know that it's turning on. It comes with this gain control knob on the side. And I also mentioned in the article that if you're going to use active pickups, which means the pickups have batteries, they're powered by batteries. I don't know if you can see that. I have EMGs, but so that means that the signal is a bit stronger. So you might have to turn down either the iRig HD2 a little bit, the gain, or you're going to have to turn down the volume knob on your pickups. So that's worth mentioning too. It has the microphone clip, as you can see that I pointed out here, so you can attach it to your mic stand. And it has these two jacks on the bottom as well, the one for amp and one for guitar. And what that does is that it makes it so that you can actually plug in your iRig HD2 to your Garageband, and then you can plug another cable and run it into your amp. So I guess that it'll play what's happening on your computer through your amp, which is pretty dope. I've never done it before, so I can't say for sure, 100% sure that it's going to work that way. But from what I understand, that's what it's able to do. What's another thing to mention? Oh yeah, the FX through switch. The FX, whenever I plug in pedals and stuff, or when I'm just playing it normally as I am now, I just have it set on FX. And I guess what that does is that it sends the process signal from the software GarageBand to the iRig, and then it plays it through your computer monitors or your speakers or what have you. And then the through setting, I guess the through setting is for if you're sending the unprocessed signal to a guitar amplifier or a mixing board. So let's move on. The device is 24-bit and has a 96 kilohertz sampling rate, which is kind of like the industry standard. I mean, that's the most that you're going to need. What else should I mention here? By the way, it only works for your guitar and bass. This won't work for a microphone, so that's worth mentioning as well. And also, if you have issues getting it to recognize it, your computer to recognize the device, you can just go into the input setting right here and adjust that. And also, you can do that as well with the preferences in the audio MIDI section, audio MIDI. So you can just select these and it'll fix that problem. And also, it's important that you want to have your audio units enabled in the preferences right here, because if you want to use Amplitude and you intend on buying amp models and stuff, that's worth mentioning as well. And I've also found that for whatever reason, my vape cables, the vape cables, they have the same micro USB cable as what comes with the iRig HD2. But I find that those cables don't work with it for whatever reason. Even though they look exactly the same, I find that they just don't work in the same way. That may be just an issue with my cables, so I can't say for certain, but I have ran into that. So I just use the cable that came with it in the box, and I have no issues. And in terms of how you want to set it up, it's really as simple as this setup that I've got right here. So if you have a new computer, you want the USB to USB-C adapter, which I'm sure if you have a new computer, you know all about this. And you just plug it in with the USB-C cable right here, and then you plug your guitar into it, and it's good to go. What else? So, I mean, this is a great little audio interface if you're looking for an inexpensive way and really convenient and easy to use way of getting your guitar and your bass to play through GarageBand. There are different models you can get, like the iRig Pro the iRig Pro IO. That will allow you to hook up not only a guitar but also a mic. And there's also other audio interfaces that you can get from IK Multimedia, where you can have even a mic and a guitar hooked up at the same time, and it's like a bit fatter. It's like an iRig Pro, but it's just a bit bigger. It's like it's like double the size of the iRig Pro or the iRig HD2. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it's a good choice to make. Make sure to check out the article at GaragebandProfessional.com. I really run through, some troubleshooting in case you run into issues, and I run through what each knob does and so on and so forth. So that's all for today, and I guess I'll see you next time.